Being a woman, I do like to think I'm pretty good at multitasking. But this car, the Volvo ES90, can do 508 trillion things a second, which is epic multitasking. Should we find out more? The new ES90 is, and I'm quoting here, in a class of its own, combining the refined elegance of a sedan, the adaptability of a fastback, and the spacious interior and higher ground clearance of an SUV. What that basically means is that, as you can see, it's quite long, around 5 metres, and low. It has a slightly lower ground clearance than a traditional saloon, which makes it easier to get in and out of, along with a hatchback-esque boot, instead of those deep, cavernous spaces you often find on saloons, which can be very hard to get stuff in and out of. So that's good. So this is basically a rival to cars like the BMW i5, the new Audi A6 e-tron, and the Mercedes EQE, to name just a few. It is also one of the most technologically advanced cars in the whole world, hence that ridiculously fast processing speed. That's down to a couple of NVIDIA chips that are in here. Now they're the $3 trillion company which is fueling the AI revolution, just in case you were wondering, but more on that later. For now, let's turn to design. It's been a while since Volvo had a big saloon in its range, hasn't it? And this is definitely the sibling of the EX90. It's got those familiar Volvo Thor hammer headlamps and C-shaped tail lights. So this is the Ultra. It will be the first trim level to arrive. Other trims will follow, and it's sitting on rather big 22-inch open spoke wheels. I think it oozes style in that lovely, understated Scandinavian way. It's more subtle than the Mercedes EQE, and I do love it for that. And can we please give a big shout out to the colour? Aurora Silver, which is very Northern Lights. Now the ES90 uses the same bits underneath as the Volvo EX90 SUV, which came out last year. However, this one has had an upgrade to an 800-volt electrical system. Now this boosts the performance, but also the charging. It always seemed a bit odd to me that the EX90 only had a 400-volt system. Anyway, I digress. Back to this car. Should we do some stats now? Because they really are quite impressive. The single motor, well, that has an 88 kilowatt-hour battery giving 406 miles of range, a 330 horsepower motor, 6.9 seconds to get from 0 to 62, and it can charge at a maximum of 300 kilowatts. Next up, the twin motor, which gets a 102 kilowatt-hour battery, 449 horsepower, and a 0 to 62 time of 5.5 seconds. Maximum charging on that is 350 kilowatts, and it will have 437 miles of range. And if that's not enough for you, how about the twin motor performance? That's got the same battery, but it has, wait for it, 680 horsepower. It knocks 1.5 seconds off that acceleration time. Range and recharging is the same. You can add 140 miles in around 10 minutes. Now, incidentally, when it comes to charging speeds, you'd expect a drop off in speed at around that level, given our experience of the EX90's charging curve. That starts to dip once you get to around 30% battery capacity. The ES90 also comes with bi-directional charging, which actually allows you to power your home or even send power back to the grid to help lower your overall electricity bill. And it will also be ready to go with plug and charge in some markets like the UK. And incidentally, it also comes with its own battery passport, which is a blockchain-enabled record that traces the source of all the critical minerals in it, cobalt and lithium and graphite, so you can check that they have come from an ethical source. This is a great car for really lazy people. Take a look at this. Closes on its own. Closes really quickly on its own. Anyway, should we get back to that multitasking? Because technology is where the ES90 really impresses. So this is the second Volvo following the EX90 to be built using what Volvo is calling the new superset tech stack. At the heart of it are two computers which basically use something called dual NVIDIA drive, AGX or in configuration. sounds super impressive, that, doesn't it? And I have no idea what it means. But according to geeks who do know about that kind of stuff, it can do 508 trillion operations per second, which is about 15 times faster than the very latest smartphone. It's really very fast. And it does need to be in order to cope with all the complex systems on this car, everything from all the driver assistance to the safety tech. It will also be upgradable in the future with over-the-air updates, so you'll get different autonomous driving features, for example. Although Volvo is tight-lipped about when they will come, and it just says they'll come when they're ready. Love a straight talking Swede, don't you? So it's nice in here, isn't it? This is the Ultra version. As you'd expect, it's packed to the rafters with kit, including this 14.5-inch Google operating system here, which we've seen in the EX90. You get 25 speaker Bowers and Wilkins stereo, electric everything. All models come with an air purification system. But you know, it's nice in here, isn't it? What a lovely place to be. I feel like I'm sitting in some really cool Scandinavian house, maybe on the edge of a lake. Yeah, I feel like there should be a beautiful lake out there for me. It's just gorgeous. It's calm and it's serene and it's comfortable and it's well made and it's nice to look at and it's all tactile and all the stitching is beautifully detailed. The use of materials in here really is something very special. I mean, I absolutely love that pale wood there. The screen, of course, it's been a bit contentious in the past, this decision of Volvo to go full on Swedish minimal and put everything in the screen. I'm one of the few members of the team who actually don't mind it at all. It's got a Google operating system. It works really well. And I think now that they've actually got their tech together, it's got a really good voice activation system. So you actually don't need to be prodding around in the screen. Of course, that is not a safe thing to be doing when you're driving. The Google Assistant will do all the things you want it to do, like turn the heated seats on or lower the temperature, just by you asking it, and it does actually work. I do, however, think the world has gone mad when we need a button on a screen to open a glove box, but there you go. Other than that, love it in here. Oh, it's so nice back here. Where to start? Let's start with this beautiful pano roof. So you've got really good headroom, but it feels nice and light and airy. I absolutely adore the roof, and we expect that it's going to come on all models in the range in the UK because that's what they did with the EX90. Honestly, it's a thing of beauty. The other thing that's gorgeous is how much space there is just between you and the driver. So this is set for Manos, who is 6'2". I remember this time. And look, I mean, I know I'm only 5'4", but honestly, loads of space. There is a lot of room for adults back here. Nice flat floor, of course. You've got your own climate control, heated and cooling seats here in the back. And this is fancy. I like the added creak. Oh, I think that's the leather. Yeah, it just does it automatically. Under here, you've got a thing, keeping things in, little table, and then your cup holders. If I'm being picky, they're a tad on the small side, but I'm being really picky. Yeah, it's nice here. It's comfy. In fact, if I have an ES90, I'm just going to sit in the back and let other people drive me around.
This video is brought to you with Andersen EV, the UK's most awarded home charge point brand of 2024, offering over 200 colour and finish options, a market-leading 7-year warranty and a unique hidden tethered cable.
Okay, let's see what this sort of sleek, slopey back does to the boot space. There it is. And as you can see, because you've got the tailgate, it really does make a difference to the load area. You've got 468 litres of space in there. Not quite as much as the amount of space you get in the BMW i5, but more than you'll find in something like a Mercedes EQE. But it is a usable space, isn't it? You know, so often I find myself delving in the back of saloon boots, trying to get things out. There's a little bit of space under there for your cables. You've got quite a small load lip to work with, it's not too bad. If you need more space, then the rear seats will fold. They don't go completely flat, but that will give you 1,256 litres of space. And if you need more still, there is a 44-litre Frunk round at the front. Oh, and I forgot, you get a game on Volvos. What can you fit in the boot? Look, it's up here. Will it fit? We can get a dog in, a backpack, a big suitcase, a guitar, golf clubs, a snowboard and a pram, yes! The question is, can you fit it all in at once? There's a video. Now, I can't chat about a new Volvo without mentioning safety, can I? And as you'd expect, there is a lot going on with that. So thanks again to all that tech, those super fast chips, this thing really does take safety to the next level. So it has a system called Safe Space Technology, and this is provided by a whole array of different sensors. There's 1 LiDAR, 5 radars, 7 cameras, and 12 ultrasonic sensors. I said there are a lot. What all this does is scan the car's surroundings, the road, for obstacles, even in complete darkness. And then it will proactively deploy the safety features, things like collision avoidance as and when you need them. There's also quite a lot going on inside as well. So inside there's an advanced driver understanding system that stalks you. Sorry, it doesn't stalk you, it keeps an eye on you to make sure that you're not getting too tired, that you're paying attention to the road, you know, whether you need to take a break or not, all of that kind of stuff. All of that technology combines to make this such a safe car, and come on, it's part of the reason why you want a Volvo, isn't it? So there you have it, everything we know so far about the Volvo ES90. I will be honest with you, these kind of big executive sort of saloony fastbacky things, they're not necessarily my cup of tea. But I do like this car. I think it's handsome looking, and I do have a soft spot for Volvo. They make such nice interiors. I love how safe their cars are. And this is fast in lots and lots of different ways. Of course, all of that comes at a price, and in this case, it's perhaps not quite as much as you may think. It's going to start at around £70,000 in the UK, going up to top of the range at around £88,000. So, I guess all that's left to say is, what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Are you wowed by the Volvo? Let us know what you think. And as always, subscribe to the channel.